Okay, everybody, welcome to our full moon in Taurus, lunar eclipse in November. It's such a juicy, potent time. Not only is it like getting into November where it's later in the year and all this time where we're starting to go into hermit mode, but this lunar eclipse is just pushing. So I'm going to hand it over to Raven, and we're going to give our offerings and have a really lovely circle for you planned this evening.
All right, so the first thing that I want to do is I want to share the pillars of integrity. We usually go over these at the beginning of every circle, and especially since there's a lot of new faces, well, some new faces in here, I'd love to share them. So the first one is confidentiality. Just what happens or what's shared in circle stays in circle, especially when at the end when we have our open circle where we share, if someone shares, just it stays here, then keeps that keeps that sacred. And then the second pillar is active listening. So that's just being a sacred witness to what someone is sharing without offering advice or without thinking of a response or without thinking of, oh, this one time I went through something similar. It's just witnessing them. And the last pillar of integrity is conscious speaking. It is just sharing from our hearts, not having to wear a mask or be, feeling like we have to be anything other than who we are. It's just letting our heart lead the way and being us. All of you is welcome here. And that is the biggest thing of these circles. And with that, I'm going to pass it on over to Hakin so we can drop in and get into some yummy medicine.
Thank you. Let's all just start by taking a breath and dropping into our bodies. Close your eyes for a moment and bring your awareness into your breath, feeling how it ripples through your body like a wave. Being mindful of where your thoughts tend to go first as you let your breath travel through your body. Is there anywhere that sticks out at you? Any aches or pains? Let yourself send your breath there now and just wiggle those little tensions away or shake them away. Feel free to flow into your seat if you feel so called to. Whatever that might look like, just giving a little wiggle or a shake or even a little hug. Let yourself twist in place. Being mindful of how your fingers and feet feel, your extremities, how they feel when you really send your breath into all of those little tips and crevices of your body. And for the remainder of the evening, let your awareness fall into your feet, your legs, and your root. How it feels in your feet, in your toes. thinking about how far they take you. Letting your awareness sit in your root, in your in-between space between you and this beautiful concept that you are simultaneously you, your root, connecting you at the same time to the tree of life and all things in the universe, while at the same time we are of the trees. Let this mental image stay in your mind for the remainder of this circle, so you can welcome in the medicine that you are grounded, you are one with the tree of life, the world.
My mom is calling for you.
Take one last inhale in through the mouth. And let it settle out. And as you let that breath out, open your eyes and just be present in this feeling. And I'll pass it back over to Raven.
That's beautiful. It kind of brought to mind this thing I read lately in a book I'm reading called the 13 original clan mothers, and it was speaking to like planetary relations and how when we look at things from a broader standpoint and how we all like share the planet Earth, Mother Earth, and how in that way we are all her children. And so we have Mother Earth and we have Father Sky and we have Grandmother Moon and Grandfather Sun, and how in that way it makes all of us relations, us and all of the creatures who inhabit Mother Earth, and the plants and the rock people and the birds and the other humans, and it's just
And the baby sharks.
and the baby sharks, but that interconnectedness, it really like it was beautiful. I felt it. So going into some moon talk, falling in the sign of Taurus, we have a blood moon eclipse. And with this blood moon eclipse brings the waves of transformative energy that can shift us to higher states of consciousness and higher levels of our soul's journey. Earlier in May 2022, we had another blood moon eclipse in the sign of Scorpio. Do you recall any significant events or transformations that happened in your life around that time? Transformation can always be challenging and often requires the painful work of peeling back layers, shedding skin, and birthing into the new. Each of these steps carries its struggles and magic. But under a blood moon eclipse, the intensity levels are turned up. A blood moon eclipse is the most potent kind we can experience, as it's a total eclipse. It gets the name blood moon as the otherwise luminous full moon turning a bloodish red color as it's completely eclipsed by the shadow of the earth. This eclipsing of the full moon causes darkness, something that can influence our energy field, our pineal gland, and can also serve as an activator for our shadow side, bringing to the surface things that need to be cleared. The eerie look of the moon has definitely given it a sinister reputation. And while there are plenty of superstitions around this cosmic event, we should not fear it. Even if our shadows arise, even if we are faced with the intensity, it is a natural cycle of nature and part of Mother Earth's rhythm. In many ways, the sight of a blood moon can be a beautiful reminder of the beauty and mystery that is always around us. Under all of the intensity and transformative energy of a blood moon, we can feel zapped, off balance, or a little more irritable than usual. It is important to practice self-care, grounding exercises, and to get plenty of rest. Blood moon eclipses can also have a purging effect, so it is extremely important to stay hydrated as our body, mind, and soul release and do away with all that no longer serves us. Uranus, the planet of awakening and breaking boundaries, is very active under this November eclipse. We may feel inspired to cut any chains that have kept us bound and free ourselves from any boxes that we put ourselves in. Where are you longing for greater freedom? What chains do you need to cut? What do you need to break free from? You may very well find that the blood moon eclipse energy will lend you a supporting hand with that. Uranus can also bring awakening and surprise. So there is a chance that this eclipse could bring some shocking news or may inspire an action or decision that comes as a shock to those around you. Unexpected roads are opening. So if it feels right to veer off course, this eclipse will provide that opportunity. It is also worthwhile remembering that eclipses always put us where we need to be for our highest growth, even if it doesn't feel like that straight away. Bring some trust and faith to whatever does manifest, even if it seems difficult. Venus, the planet of love, is also active under this eclipse, and while we may find ourselves focusing on our relationships and romantic life, Venus is also the planet that rules over our values and our feelings of self-worth. So what do you truly value? Do you feel worthy enough to have what you value? This line of questioning may open up for you under this eclipse. Get real with yourself. Don't be afraid to get honest and have a real conversation about what you truly value and where your beliefs lie around those values. The November blood moon eclipse is also a wonderful time to set intentions around releasing self-limiting beliefs that keep you playing small. Weed out any beliefs that are making you feel like you are not good enough or not worthy enough, and offer those up to the full moon as a release. You may also find things that you no longer value or things that you have pretended to value, and those may fall away from your life now. If this happens, honor any grief, because this is also called the mourning moon. Honor any grief, but also know that this new space is an opportunity to fill it with things that are more aligned with where you want to be. Saturn, the planet of karma, is also active under this eclipse. Saturn's presence can definitely create some heaviness and can shine a spotlight on all things that we need to deal with from our past. We may find ourselves feeling extra overwhelmed, irritable, or frustrated, especially if we are holding on to past events or past stories. If you are feeling consumed by any of this, consider writing a letter where you get out everything from the past that is troubling you, reflect on any wisdom that comes up, and then burn it as a signal of release. And then when you are ready, write a new story, create a new letter on how you want this next chapter to go. While there are many manifestations and ways that this eclipse can show up, at its core, we are being called to let go so we can transform and create space for more for what we truly value. We won't have another blood moon eclipse until 2025. So find gratitude for this rare celestial event. honor yourself for moving through this work, and know when you find yourself on the other side of its energy, you will be facing a new chapter of your soul's evolution. And with that, I'm going to pass it on over back to Hakin.
Thank you. What yeah, what a really potent, powerful window we have to, and it's not just a few days. Remember, it's like it's 6 months that that eclipse energy lasts into, and I think it's significant enough with that tail note that you ended off on, that we don't have another one of these until 2025. But something came up for me that I wasn't even planning on saying initially, just in the last few minutes. The element of the red moon, it's this, how do I put this? It's so full of really dark divine feminine energy. It's like when we normally associate the full moon with the female menstrual cycle and the releasing energy that comes with that. So the red moon, see, it takes us to a place where it's even deeper, richer, divine feminine energy. It's wombs healing, womb space energy, and this invitation to do deep inner healing work over the next 6 months. And that looks like diving deep into ourselves, into our own inner work through the winter, which is always such a great time to do that, because as we have the next 6 months takes us right up into next spring, and we have 6 months to work on ourselves over the winter months, and taking that time to build a foundation for life, a better sense of security, and thinking about our boundaries better, because this is root healing. It's all about the color red, and I could say that 5 times over until I was blue in the face, but that I really don't get anything more clear out of this moon and this portal, this eclipse, the hardcore slap you in the face root healing. Like we're sitting down and we're really thinking about, we're really being given this opportunity to sit down and think, what makes me feel safe, and what is it what is it in the last little while that's been contributing to me not feeling safe, feeling ungrounded, feeling anxious, or maybe even giving into money blocks and things that really take away our sense of groundedness and security, financial security and safety in the home, and that feeling like yes, my home is okay, it's not going to be pulled out from under me any day now, like really taking some time to budget and maybe thinking about money blocks, and what is it in your own mindset that is stopping you or giving you limiting beliefs about money and abundance and attracting whatever it is into your life that's going to make you feel safe, secure, whole, and complete, and okay where you are. Because as we come into the fall and the winter, this isn't a time necessarily to be uprooting ourselves. It's a time to be letting our roots just seep into the earth and going inside and feeling like, well, when we look at those metaphors, like going into hibernation, it's like really just going internal with yourself. So now isn't the time to uproot your life and and change everything. Now is the time to really sit with what you have and what you've let go of and what you've grown through this year, and sit with it. And when we talked about the morning, where I think this goes perfectly with, those symbolisms that I gave, that it's close to the end of the year, and we've had all these different aspects of growth through the year since May, and now is this perfect time to sit and think, okay, what have I laid to rest, and what can I grieve and mourn from? And at the same time, how can I look into the next 6 months at possibly working on my boundaries, things that make me feel grounded and not just financially secure and safe and like your home is okay, but boundaries are quintessential in this feeling of feeling grounded, and like your root is whole and secure and the energy is flowing through it. One of the things that I included in my pieces of work in my workbook on chakra healing is boundaries, because it's huge for the feeling that you are secure with your own self. It's huge. And I've been talking about this in my own channels and a little bit of my writing lately. It's been really coming in strong for me, this feeling of your boundary need not be saying fuck you. It can just be let them show you where they are going to place themselves in your life. Let them place themselves where they are meant to go in your path. Let them show you exactly where you are in their priority list. And you know what? If they want to show up for you, let them love you. Let them love you how they're meant to love you without pushing them away. So you see how boundaries work both ways? That's a cool thing, hey? It's not, a boundary isn't just a thing that pushes people away if they don't follow it. A boundary also gives you the opportunity to open the fence or the gates and let them in. If they so choose to be on your journey with you, then let them. If they're good for you, let them be. And if there's somebody who wishes to be a really great partner for you, then let them, without self-sabotaging yourself or getting in your own way or falling into old patterns, which are going to come up for you right now, because it's an eclipse, and it's going to bring up patterns that you've maybe worked on since May, and now life is giving you opportunities to test yourself and see if you're going to react the same way that you would have 6 or 8 months ago. And so that's my little bit on boundaries that I really wanted to share with you guys this evening, because I've been chewing on it the last few days, and I have so much more to say on that. But I have a really big prompt for you this evening, and it's in this concept of mourning. It's in this concept of coming into the hermit phase and going into hibernation for the fall and winter, and this feeling that we're about to work on ourselves and choose to form new routines and new habits and work on yourself and your inner work for the winter and 6 months before, you know, you go into next year and you're like, oh yeah, it's spring, I'm a new person again. Take some time to just, and you can, if you have a little piece of paper and a pen or journal with you, you can pause if you're playing the home game and you're watching this on the recording. And we'll give a couple minutes for this anyway, but 2 questions. One is, what parts of you since May have you laid to rest? What parts of you have you grown through so much that those little traits or some maybe big chapters that have died or ended for you to get where you are now? And the second question, we'll give a minute for you to write that down. Just it doesn't have to be long, it doesn't have to be a big paragraph or anything, but just a couple points, whatever comes up for you. And then the second question, if you could attend your own funeral, what would you say? With all of the self-love that you could muster, I'll put them down in the chat and in the description box for anyone watching the recording. Number 1. Number 1, what parts of you have you laid to rest since May? What has died for you to get here that you can mourn, be grateful for, grieve, be thankful? And 2, if you could attend your own funeral, you could stand up at your own funeral, giving a eulogy or just saying a few things about yourself and who you were in life, what would you say? Now, I want transparent self-love answers here, people. No self-loathing. When you have an answer, feel free to write it in the, write it in the discussion chat below, or if you are in the circle, then we'll be sharing it at the end for our circle share. And with that being said, I'll pass it back over to Raven so she can share with us her card for the evening.
All right, so I have a card and then I have a song for us that I'm gonna play. Okay, so for our card, I was drawn to pull from the Shaman's Dream Oracle deck. And the card that jumped out for us was absolutely fitting for this, all of the energies going on right now. The card we got was called Beloved. radical acceptance.
Let me tell you
Now,
a secret.
it says the object of affection, radical acceptance, loving what is. When the beloved appears, it requires 100% of your heart, body, and soul. Don't try to squeeze the beloved into your schedule. Drop the busyness and receive the one you have been waiting for. Know that this card comes as a mirror to show you the divine within and invite your radical acceptance of everything you consider beautiful and ugly within yourself. The beloved may not be a person at all. It may be a business venture, a project, or an adventure calling for your full attention. Love it, let it light you up, and give it your all. Surrender to this truth and know that you are gaining a passport to bliss, even when it feels that you are being consumed by the fire of the beloved. Do not hold back or be afraid, for you will emerge transformed. Surrender is the key. Allow yourself to be loved. Usher the harsh critic out the door and shut your eyes and ears to judgment of others who have not been ignited by the divine blaze consuming you. For they will only attempt to douse your fire and leave you choking on the smoke. Be careful you are not seduced by false promises or falling prey to your extraordinary ability to sabotage your dreams and desires. Sink with and sink into your heart and trust your sense of what is true. You will know what to do. The true beloved is never false. Every gift Pro offered is valuable. Recognize the many faces of the beloved and welcome them into your heart. You will be so glad that you did. And the song that I'm playing for us is called My Healing by Sophia Spallino. I invite you guys to, if you want to shut off your cameras, if this just I invite you to embody and feel into this song. This is a declaration of healing, and it is very transformative and healing if you let it. So I invite you to shut your cameras off if that makes you feel more comfortable. Place your hands on your heart or anywhere in your body that you feel you might need to send that extra love. Maybe get some heat going with your hands first and then place it on your body where you might feel and send that love in. But I invite you to close your eyes and really drop in and let yourself hear this. So I'm going to start playing it. And for the first couple seconds, those of you who do have your cameras up, just give me a thumbs up if the audio is good.
You just have to let go, let go, let go of the judgment towards yourself, towards all. But how radically accept it wasn't okay, but it's all okay now. In this moment, I choose my healing. In this moment, I choose ending. In this moment, I choose my beginning. In this moment, I choose healing. I let go of what doesn't serve me. I release what hurt me. I'm thankful for experiences that taught me. Physical illusions, I'm letting go. Pain is not mine to hold. Judgment is not mine to own. Peace is what I know. The past does not define me. I am love, I am forgiving, I am overcoming. Duality is an illusion. There is only oneness, wholeness, my healing. My healing is my belief. My healing is my knowing. My healing is accepting. My healing is taking responsibility to let go right now, to let go, to choose not to hold anymore. Forgiveness is not condoning. Forgiveness is letting go of the past controlling my present moment now, so I can be here now. My present is a gift. This moment not miss. No more dwelling on what doesn't serve me. This freedom now. I feel freedom now. Bless and release what does not bring me peace. I bless and release what does not bring me peace. I will not drink the poison. I will not drink the poison of bitterness, resentfulness, anger, dis-ease. I will feast on joy. I will feast on peace, love, and goodness. My healing is my belief. My healing is my knowing. My healing is accepting. My healing is taking responsibility to let go, to no longer hold what does not serve me. Forgiveness is not condoning. Forgiveness is letting go of the past controlling my present moment now, so I can be here now. Now, freedom now. I will not drink the poison. I will not drink the poison of bitterness, resentfulness, anger, dis-ease. I will feast on joy. I will feast on peace, love, and goodness. I will dance with an open heart again. I will love with an open heart again. I will believe with an open heart again. The past does not define me. I am love. I am forgetting. I am overcoming. Duality is an illusion. There is only oneness. When I forgive all, I forgive me. I accept wholeness. I accept my own healing. This is freedom. This letting go is freedom. My heart is opening. I can feel it opening, opening, opening. Letting go, allowing, the peace.
Now, with your eyes closed for just a moment more, I invite you to just feel into this energy. Maybe notice what came up for you. And I want you to also recognize and honor yourself for showing up for this work, for facing the heavy things, for taking your responsibility for your healing. When we show up to heal ourselves, we are also healing each other, and we are also healing the world, circle by circle. So I just want to thank you for showing up tonight, and I want you to thank yourself, because this healing work is so important. And I'm going to pass it on over to Hakin.
What a wonderful song. Really quick, can you just share, just so everybody knows, what was the name of that song?
That song is called My Healing by Sophia Spallino. I will actually post it in the event page as well, so that way everybody can have access to that, and I'll post the card and everything else too.
Okay. We'll put that in the description box too. Beautiful. What a powerful song. Yeah. I'm just feeling through everything that really came up, and it's beautiful how it always weaves together. We always plan how our pieces will you go, then I go, then you after me, but I swear to you, we never really truly plan what each of us is going to talk, or know what each of us is going to talk about. And I'm always so grateful when it just meshes together like it was so meant to be. Anyway, I love and appreciate and I'm so grateful for everybody that showed up today and showed up for yourselves. Really quick before I end this moon offering, I just want to remind everybody that we have an inner child healing circle coming up on November 17th. So that's going to be really great. You're not going to want to miss that. Aside from these full moon circles, which we do twice every month, well, full and new moon, obviously, that we do twice every month. We also have these really great and potent extra workshops, which are not free. There's an exchange on those, but they're deeper healing circles and they're deeper topics that we dive into. And so they're not as much just regular sharing circles, but they're deep healing circles and workshops and learning sessions. So I can't wait to see whoever feels called to join in that. And without any further ado, I love you all and see you again soon.
Now what?